Hey guys, welcome to problem 3 of competition 1. This is a geometry problem. Each straight line in the figure is 1 inch long, and the entire figure is a closed loop. The total perimeter we are given is 186 inches, and the problem wants us to find the area of the figure. So for reference, this is the figure mentioned in the problem, and each of these sides is 1 inch. And this is not drawn to scale, but each of these sides are equal to each other. So the figure's perimeter is 186 inches. So the entire figure is obviously not drawn on the screen, as it would extend a lot further out, as this is obviously not a perimeter of 186. This is why when we see these dots, we can assume that there are more pieces of the figure that are just not drawn in. The trick to this problem is to realize the figure is just made of is just a big pattern of repeating shapes. And I'm going to draw one of these shapes. So the figure is just made of a lot of these shapes connected to each other. And I'm going to draw a second one just to illustrate this real quick. And importantly, these line segments, I dotted them out because they are actually not line segments, because there's no need for a line segment there because each shape connects to the end of its previous shape. So these dotted lines indicate that that is not a line segment, it's hollowed out. The only exception to this rule is that the starting shape and the ending shape are different than the what I'll call regular shape. And I'm going to draw the starting shape. The starting shape, importantly, does have this line segment drawn in, because otherwise it wouldn't be a closed loop. Similarly, the ending shape, that's really bad drawing. Similarly, the ending shape has this line segment drawn in, as, again, it needs to be a closed loop. So let's take that into consideration. So what we now know is that this is a shape consisting of a special start shape and a special end shape with a bunch of these regular shapes occurring in between. And if we're able to figure out how many of these regular shapes are in between the start and the end, we can figure out the total area. So, well, let's use the hints we are given. We know the total perimeter is 186. What's the perimeter of a regular shape? Well, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the perimeter of a regular shape is going to be 8. So I'm going to start writing that in. So regular shape P is 8 inches. However, for a start shape, the perimeter is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, this is because we are drawing in one more line segment. And similarly, the perimeter for the end shape is also going to be 9. So I'm going to write start/end. And I'm going to write as the perimeter is going to be 9 inches. And the area, however, is going to be exactly the same for all shapes. This is because each shape is composed of just 4 1x1 squares, irrelevant of its perimeter. So the perimeter of all the shapes is going to be 4 inches. Oops, sorry, not the perimeter. The area is going to be 4 inches. All right, so now let's get back to our hint. We know there are going to be 186 inches, but the start and the end shape each are 9. So I'm going to subtract 18 from 186 to get 168. So 168 is what I'm going to call our leftover perimeter. It's because after subtracting the perimeter of our start and end shapes, this is the perimeter left over for all the middle shapes to take up. And again, we know that each regular shape or middle shape takes up 8 inches. So by dividing 168 by 8, we can find how many middle shapes we have, which is going to be which is going to be 21. So now we know that there are 21 middle shapes. Now we're coming to the end here, but if there are 21 middle shapes and each of them has an area of 4, that's going to give us an area of 44. Sorry, 84. I knew I got something wrong because it wasn't matching up, and that was a pretty silly mistake. But the area is going to be 84 by our middle shapes. And now let's not forget our start and end shapes, which each also have a perimeter of 4. So plus 4, plus 4. And this is going to give us 92. So 92 is going to be our final answer, and you can say inches squared. But at the end of the day, what we did was we figured out there were 84 middle shapes. Each of them, 21 middle shapes. Each of them, one of them has an area of 4. So we got 84 inches squared for just our middle shapes, and then we added the area of our start shape and our end shape to get 92 inches squared, which is our answer.